Once upon a time, there was a handsome prince in a land known for its flowers. This prince had found the love of his life, Beauty, after many years of being alone as a beast. Now he was spending happy days with Beauty in the castle they were living in. One day, while they were having dinner, Beauty had a thought. "Richard, you told me you turned into a beast because you were under a bad spell. Why would anyone do that to a kind and good-hearted person like you?"
Dear Beauty, that's a long story.
That night, Prince Richard told Beauty what had happened to him. He said that he was a lonely child when he was little, and that he didn't want to talk to anyone because of the red spots on his face. That's why he treated everyone badly. In fact, he was such an angry person that no one even wanted to come near him. One day, it was realized that the reason for the spots on his face was the rose flowers in his room. Hearing this, Beauty was confused, but she continued to listen to the prince curiously.
No healer could find a cure for these spots. And because I couldn't get close to roses, I banned rose gardens all over the country.
But one day, a commoner informed the prince that there was a witch in the depths of the forest. They say the witch's garden was overflowing with roses. Upon learning of this, the prince became very angry. He wanted to destroy those roses and the witch who opposed him. He gathered his soldiers and set out to go to the place where the witch lived. The Witch Rosa did indeed have a castle with colorful rose gardens. "Oh, Murmur, get off my feet! Soon my beauty will fade. I need to pick roses right away." The Witch Rosa was actually very ugly. Her nose almost covered her mouth, and she had huge moles on her face. In the early hours of the morning, she was picking roses from her garden and returning quickly to her home. She was crushing the petals of those roses and creaming her face with them, and uttering her magical words, making herself beautiful. Her black, fluffy, and filthy hair was turning into soft, long hair. "Oh, my dear roses, what would I do without you?"
Rosa, my lady, I think someone is approaching our castle.
"Be quiet, Murmur. I'm watching my beauty in the mirror. You're distracting me." Prince Richard and his soldiers have finally arrived at the witch's castle. The prince's eyes began to burn as he saw the roses from afar.
Bring my special outfit to protect me, now!
While the prince was wearing his special outfit, a soldier opened the gate of the garden. Then the prince in the front, the soldiers behind, rushed into the rose garden. Prince Richard was picking handfuls of roses in the garden with his sheltered hands. So much so that rose petals were flying in the air.
So you're going against me, huh? I will destroy not only you, but also your garden with you, you filthy witch!
While the Witch Rosa's cat, Murmur, was slumbering sluggishly by the window, he suddenly awoke to the sounds and saw what had happened. He immediately ran to Rosa, who was combing her soft hair in the mirror.
Roses! Your roses are gone! Quick, look out the window!
What are you talking about again, Murmur?
Soldiers! They're plucking the roses! Meow!
The witch rushed to the window. At that moment, she saw a man in armor with his soldiers behind him, plucking the roses in her garden. "No! My roses! What are you doing to my roses? Who are you?" The soldiers stopped suddenly and looked at the witch in the window. But they saw a woman whose long hair was fluttering in the wind, making them forget everything with her beauty. They were so impressed with the woman's beauty that they stopped plucking the roses. The prince, on the other hand, continued to pluck the roses in anger, not seeing the witch in the window. At that very moment, the prince's glove caught on the huge thorn of the rose and was torn. His hand immediately began to itch and turn red. The prince tried to get out of the garden in a panic, but this time he tripped on the thorns and fell to the ground. As soon as he fell, the heavy iron mask of the prince came off.
Ah, my mask! Ah, my eyes! Help me! My skin is burning all over!
At that moment, the witch appeared in the middle of the garden. She looked sadly at the nearly vanished rose garden. She was so angry that she wouldn't be beautiful again that the effect of the magic on her face wore off and she was back to her old, ugly self again. Take your prince into my castle now! Then leave this place immediately! Otherwise, I will turn you all into frogs and imprison you in a swamp! The soldiers did as the witch said. The prince opened his eyes in a gloomy room.
Hey! Is there anyone? What's going on?
The Witch Rosa entered in anger.
Please help me! My hands! My face are in a terrible shape! No princess will marry me when I'm like this!
No! You are a very selfish person. No one can love you. You know, you will pay the price for this. In fact, until you find true love, you will be alone as a beast. The witch poured the potion in her hand on the prince and turned him into an ugly beast. This was the consequence of your arrogance, prince. From now on, you will serve me. Now get back to your own palace and plant rose seeds forever! The prince has returned to his palace as a beast. Seeing him in this state, all the employees fled the palace in fear. Even his parents abandoned him. Being near the roses no longer bothered Prince Richard. But he was left alone as a beast in the huge palace. He took care of the roses in the garden for days and nights until Beauty came across.
That's the story, Beauty. Because you gave me true love, loved me wholeheartedly, the effect of the spell cast by the Witch Rosa wore off.
Oh, my dear prince, what a sad story that was. But now that the spell has passed, what will happen to the roses in the garden? Prince Richard and Beauty heard a strange crackling noise. They immediately looked at the rose gardens from the window of the palace. Among the roses, they saw a black shadow with a purple glow. Neither you nor the roses will get rid of me, Prince! I will curse you forever! The prince and the beauty have already understood that there is nothing more precious than love. But for the Witch Rosa, this was something impossible to understand.